Hi everyone, welcome back. As COVID restrictions are being lifted in Canada and other countries, a lot of my clients have been calling me about their travel insurance as everyone is planning their trip away. To make your trip worry-free, it is important to choose the correct travel insurance as so much has changed. I'm going to share with you important travel insurance information that you need to know before you get on that plane and the best way to get your insurance coverage for free. For those who don't know me, my name is Catherine Lee. I've been an insurance broker for the past 12 years in Ontario. The goal of my channel is to help empower you with the knowledge about insurance so that you can protect what matters the most to you. When most people think about travel insurance, they're thinking about coverages for unforeseen medical expenses like illness and injuries while abroad. The key term of this is emergency medical coverage. One time, my sister once had food poisoning on her trip to the Caribbean. She went to the hospital to do a blood test, routine examination, and was given some prescriptions. Guess how much that cost her? $1,400. Thank God she had travel insurance. Even though she had to pay for it upfront with her credit card, she was reimbursed after she came back. However, not all travel insurances are made the same. So when you are booking your trip, here are a few things you need to consider when selecting your emergency medical coverage. Number 1, who will be covered? Make sure all parties attending the trip is covered. It's as simple as that, but please be careful when it comes to dependents. Typically, the definition is for children up to age 21 who are in full-time school. Number 2, coverage limit. Emergency medical coverage should be a minimum of $1 million. Ideally, get the $2 or even $10 million in coverage. The more, the better. You can't foresee how many surgeries or examinations or the length of your stay will be in a different country. Again, the travel insurance companies can't negotiate your medical fees with the hospital because they don't know when, where, or how long it'll take for you to recover. Number 3, make sure your OHIP is valid. It should not be expired before you board that plane, and all essential information is up to date, like your full name and your address. For those who are going away for more than 7 months, please make sure you notify Service Canada. There are a few things that you have to prove, like permanent residency in Ontario, to extend the OHIP coverages up to 2 years. Number 4, pre-existing conditions are not covered under OHIP or travel insurance, which means if you have an existing illness like a lung condition, any medical issues relating to the lung or an illness derived from the lung condition will not be covered while you're traveling, so be careful. Number 5, call your group benefits if you have them with your employer. You could be covered up to the first 15 or 18 days of your travel. Number 6, be careful. If you are over the age of 65 during your travel, make sure you read the policy manual because most standard coverages do not extend to people over the age of 65. Number 7, there are sublimits in coverages and review exclusions carefully. For example, if your emergency medical coverage is $10 million, but there's a dental sublimit of up to $3,000, or your pet that you're traveling with, and now you need to head back to Ontario early or later, the travel insurance policy should cover up to $500 for your pet's return flight. You may want to review it carefully and check if you are comfortable with these limits. Number 8, make sure to keep copies of insurance and phone numbers on you and with the people you're traveling with. Typically, we get wallet cards with the claim phone numbers and policy numbers handy. Print one and send digital copies to your family members. Number 9, there is a list of people who the insurance company have deemed too high risk and are generally not covered under most travel insurances. If you are in this group, make sure you're aware of that and contact your insurance provider for more details. This includes for anyone who have existing illnesses that requires medical attention and follow-ups. Usually these medical conditions are not stable for the past 3 to 6 months. Anyone who has surgery in the past year. Anyone who is pregnant. Those who participate in high-risk activities like mountain climbing, rock climbing, parachuting, skydiving, hang gliding, or any other air-supported sporting device, and those who like to participate in motorized speed contests. Number 10. Make sure to check the Canadian travel advisories in regards to the region you are traveling to. If your destination is under a travel advisory in red, like Ukraine's current status, avoid all travel, your travel insurance most likely will not cover you. Now that you know what emergency medical coverage is and how to protect yourself, I'm going to share with you my favorite way to get the travel insurance and a whole lot more for free. Not many people know that travel credit cards can provide affordable travel insurance during your trip compared to buying your individual insurance. Even for myself, as an insurance broker, I find using credit cards for my travel provides good protection and peace of mind. Here are the things that you may not know could be covered under your travel credit card. Number 1, the emergency medical coverage. You would have to request the policy wording to review the limits, and I would recommend checking your eligibilities and exclusions. Like, eligibility means that the things you have to fulfill to activate coverage, such as charging the entire trip on your credit card to receive coverage. Be careful. It typically covers you, your spouse, and your dependents under age 21, not your parents, siblings, or other relatives who may be traveling with you. Be careful if you are over the age of 65. You should be purchasing your own coverage separately, as a standard emergency medical coverage will not cover you. Please be careful that all pre-existing conditions are not covered. Number 2, the car rentals in North America, excluding Hawaii. If you have an auto policy in Ontario with an OPCF 20 and 27 options added, you could rent a car in North America. But please note, your car must be parked and unused at home for this extension to happen. For example, if someone is using your car at home while you are vacationing in Florida, your car insurance will not be extended to your car rental in Florida. Depending which credit card you sign up for, they could have car rental insurance, and I always enjoy having 2 coverages rather than 1. Number 3, baggage loss. This is a headache when it happens to you. The airline misplaced your bag, and they'll meet you at your hotel when it's found. If it's not found, they'll give you approximately $200 or $300 if you're lucky. Goodbye to those beautiful dresses and shirts you bought for the trip, or the diapers that will cost you an arm and a leg while on vacation. My friend was on vacation with her 1-year-old son. She packed everything in the luggage that was considered essential for her child and going to Bahamas. The lost luggage made it back to her while she was leaving the country. During her stay, she had to buy new diapers, clothes, and bathing suits, and it was not cheap in Bahamas. So good thing her credit card gave her $300 to spend. It's not a lot, but it helped. So best to check your limits to see if that's okay for you. But it's definitely a good coverage to have. And note to self, pack some essentials in your carry-on luggage in case your big luggage goes missing. Number 4, trip cancellation. It's a pre-departure benefit that can reimburse 100% of the traveler's trip costs if they need to cancel their trip for a covered reason. The most common covered reason is an unforeseen illness, injury, or death of a traveler or a traveler's companion or a non-traveling family member. In my personal experience, I broke my leg approximately a week before my trip. I didn't have a credit card that had this feature, and I wish I did because I would have got a refund for my trip. Instead, I wheeled myself to the airport and traveled to Jamaica with my friends. Don't get me wrong, I still enjoyed my stay, but it would have been nice to have the option to remain back to recover. It was either go or lose $1,200. I was lucky enough to travel, but not many people are in the same circumstances. Number 5, trip interruption. This covers extra costs if you need to return home sooner or later than planned and reimburses you for non-refundable or non-transferable portions of unused prepaid travel arrangements. This could be for a passing of a close family member, or that they felt ill during your trip, or that you wanted to return to their side. Read through the manual and call into the claims department to see if you qualify for coverage at that time. There are many credit cards that provide travel protection, and most of the major banks have at least one of them. They usually have an annual fee of $120 or more. There are often special promotions for one of these cards where they waive the initial fee so that you can often get travel protection for free. A typical travel insurance per person for 1 week stay in the Caribbean is about $200 for the coverages I listed earlier. So for a family of 4, you could be saving $800 on insurance by booking through the travel credit card. I hope that helps. Again, make sure you do your own due diligence when you are booking your trip and checking the policy wording just so that you know exactly what your coverages are before leaving for your trip. Thank you again for watching. If you are traveling and have questions about travel insurance, go ahead and put that in the comment section below. If you learned something new from this video, please subscribe to my channel so that you won't miss any future content. Thank you.